Hey, Spuddies, Potato Egg Whiskey here, and welcome back to Let's Play Civilization 6, the How to Beat King difficulty. Now, just a quick pre-word before we get into the game. I want to let you guys know that I'm genuinely considering ending this series here because I feel like I've proved my point. I've proven how you beat King. You build a few units, and then you just throw them at the AI in a relatively intelligent manner. I even made some pretty big mistakes back here, which shows that you don't have to play it perfectly to win. With the strategy I employed, I just built units and attacked them. It's really quite simple, and it really does not take much at all to beat the AI on King difficulty. So I am considering ending this series here. However, I am willing to listen to my audience. If you guys think there is value in me continuing the series, leave a comment and I will continue the series. Let me know. I'm gonna get a way up. If you would like to see me move on to a new series with a new civilization, with a new, maybe I might play Macedon again. Like if you want to see me do Emperor next, show you guys how to beat Emperor consistently. And maybe for Emperor we'll do, because I did a couple of domination victories, so we might go for maybe a culture victory, or we might go for a science victory on Emperor, just to show you how to do it, because I think a lot of us would really like, actually, I think most of us actually kind of enjoy the science game. So let me know if you would like me to end this series here, because, you know, we've quote-unquote won, we've done everything we need to win, it's just a matter of mopping up at this point. Or would you like me to continue the series because you like seeing the end screen, you like seeing me play through a game, and so on and so forth? Because there's really at this point, there's not much more learning value in this game. So the series at this point would transition into a more of a casual sort of regular playthrough. So that's the options on the table, and I'm really not sure which option to go for, because for me personally, I'm sort of torn between these two things where I really hate not finishing a series, but I also don't think there's much value in this series as an educational series is left. So these two things are playing against each other. I also really just want to, you know, so that's part of it. I don't know. I don't want to give my reasons too much because I feel like I'll color the discussion. You guys just tell me what you want and I'll take that into consideration. Anyway, jumping back into the game, I'm just going to kind of ramble here as I move units around and stuff like that, because I was just reading an article. I took a short break before I played this episode because I needed a breather. I was just reading an article. It was about a malaria vaccination. There's a new malaria. They're working on a vaccine for malaria, which could, you know, have absolutely massive ramifications on human civilization throughout the world, particularly in Africa. And in some other places too, but in particular Africa, because Africa has massive massive problems with mosquitoes and malaria and all that sort of, those sort of jungle associated diseases that are associated with sort of unindustrialized societies in Africa. Particularly sub-Saharan Africa. I don't think it's much of an issue. I don't think malaria is much of an issue in like Egypt and Northern Africa and maybe sort of Northeastern Africa so much. But definitely in sub-Saharan Africa, malaria is a big problem to my knowledge. I could be wrong. And someone brought up this thing about the population explosion in Africa that's happening. Because if you don't know, the population of Africa is like exponentially increasing. And the problem is that people have misunderstood how to stop it, in my opinion. So basically, a similar population boom happened in Europe when we got our child mortality down, and people they're doing the correlation causation thing. They think the correlation of child mortality going down is the thing that causes birth rates to go down. And sure enough, right, there definitely is an element of that, okay? I'm not going to contest that. I'm going to say, sure, I believe that that's, or I haven't seen any evidence that this proves that, and says that isn't the case. But I think the more important thing is the cultural aspect of this, is that children no longer are seen as a way to profit. Okay, that's really important, because those of you who know anything about the Industrial Revolution and all that sort of era, you know, children were used as factory workers, like in droves. Like thousands of children worked in factories, maybe even millions, perhaps millions. Okay, And there was a massive population boom. If you look at that, I think the population of England went from like 8 million to like 50 million over maybe a couple hundred years or something, or maybe less than that. Anyway, it was probably only a couple of like a few decades. The population explosion. I don't have the numbers in front of me, and I don't know the numbers off the top of my head. But it was a really fast population explosion during the Industrial Revolution. Okay, and the thing that slowed it down is that, like, think about it this way. Okay, if you're a farmer, okay, and your income is how many crops you can produce, okay, and you think to yourself, and like, for generations upon generations, the way for you to get more product, okay, is to have more children. Because sure, there's like this initial investment in a child, okay, but once the child hits a certain age, you can bring him into the field and he can start producing, he can start doing labor, he can start creating food that you, because you're the adult, you can take and sell. So children are seen as an investment into your own personal wealth. So why wouldn't you just have as many children as possible? Okay, that's the logical. The logic behind this is perfectly like rational and reasonable. Okay, but the consequences are kind of dire long term, because overpopulation. I don't think it's a problem right now, but it has the potential to be a big problem, because humans are expensive in terms of the environment. You know, every single human has an impact. So we need to sort of dial back and remember that it's yes, child mortality and stuff like that is important. We also have to remember it's the cultural thing is. Now, I don't want to give like numbers. I don't know exactly, but it's at least important enough to talk about and take into consideration, is that we need to give these societies, as we are more advanced societies in a sort of technological sense, we need to give them the tools, if they want them, to transition away from using children as labor and using children as profit. Because even if some of you might know, okay, of people in your own countries who, in particularly in certain countries that have really generous social payments for children, there's people out there who just have children because they get paid money for it. Okay, this is like the best, purest example of what I'm talking about. If it's profitable or it's seen as a good thing to have children, people are going to have children. But that's not those aren't the people you want having children. You don't, and I don't mean those people shouldn't have children. What I mean is, those aren't the reasons you want people having children. The reasons you want people to have children is because you want them to be, in my opinion, invested in the society, in the continuation and success of the society. So you want them to look at society and say, hey, you know what? This shit is good. I think it could be better. I want it to be better, and I want to be a part of that. And the way I do that is by breeding, by having children and raising them to be good, people of the future. You know, I want my legacy on my society to be the children I raise. Okay, I want to be the people I sort of work to create through my children are part of my contribution to society. Does that make sense? It's like, but a lot of people, like, the reasons they like, you don't want the reasons people have children. Okay, you don't want, in my opinion, this is all my opinion, okay? It's all very much so my opinion. You don't want the reasons people have children to be because it's profitable, okay? Because they're essentially exploiting their children for wealth. And again, I'm not judging these people, but in my opinion, it's something we just don't want to encourage. Like, that's not the way we want things to be, in my opinion. We want people to have children because they're interested in the long-term success and continuation and brilliance of the society that they live in. Okay, in my opinion. Okay, I'm gonna stop saying in my opinion. I might not stop saying it, but I'm gonna try and remember that. Okay, okay, look, we want people to have children not for personal gain, because if you make If children are for personal gain, I think that the people that will be created by that pressure are not going to be happy, healthy people. These aren't going to be, you know, people who have had good lives. These are going to be people who are neglected or abused because they were essentially seen as profit. Now, I'm not saying no. This is talking about a statistical probability, okay? This is like, what is this, like, I feel that the statistical probability that someone is having too many children and those children are not being adequately cared for is higher if the person has a profit motive to have children, okay? If children are an altruistic investment in the continuation of society, I feel that people will be more likely to invest in those children, their personal and emotional resources, which, in my opinion, will result in a better society. I hope that all makes sense. Basically, look, we need people to stop fucking for money. I'm not talking about prostitution here. I'm talking about people like having sex to fucking have more farm hands, okay? That shit, within the context of their societies, is a good thing for them because, you know, it's what got us to this point on this earth, okay? But that's not sustainable long term. If everyone was doing that, shit would be fucking whack, yo. Okay, so the real solution to the overpopulation problem in India, in Africa, and all this sort of thing is to give them the tools to figure out how to make having children not be profitable anymore, okay? To bring about that cultural shift that, okay, actually, children are for profit. Children are a way for me to contribute to society. Children are a way for me to improve society. Children are a way for me to make things better for me and my people. Okay? I hope that makes sense, because it's I'm kind of struggling to explain it adequately, I feel, but maybe I'm not. Oh, it has to be attached for that to work? Okay. But yeah, and the reason I kind of went off on this is because I felt like people were focusing too hard on the child mortality aspect of the thing. And yes, that's important. 100, that's absolutely important, okay? But I feel of equal, or at least worthy of consideration on an equal level of that, is the idea of the cultural profit motive of having children. That the idea that, like, if I told you you could buy a dog and a dog costs €100 a month to look after, and the government will pay you €200 a month to look after a dog, you're gonna buy like 400 dogs, because the more dogs you have, the more money you make, right? So similarly, and I kind of feel bad for comparing children to dogs here, but bear with me. So if it's profitable for you to have children, you're gonna have more children than maybe is sustainable. You're going to have more children than maybe is necessary. You're going to have more children maybe than you can adequately care about or adequately care for in society. I hope that all makes sense. It makes sense to me in my head, but I don't know if it translates well. I don't know why I'm hitting that encampment. I'm just kind of going away. But like, yeah, that article just kind of, I don't want to say triggered something in me, but it was like, it brought about these feelings of these ideas that I felt like people had kind of missed the point. That's what I felt. I felt like people missed the point, and I feel like the conversation was way too much on child mortality. And yes, absolutely, I'm not saying child mortality, like, we don't want to bring that down. Absolutely we do. We absolutely want to bring that down. That should be one of our primary goals, if not the primary goal. It should be at least as equal importance of anything else that we do in society, is to bring down child mortality. Okay? But it's worth remembering that the cultural aspects and the cultural pressures around having children are just as important to solving overpopulation and underpopulation issues. Okay? Because we actually have the reverse happening, because we actually have examples of that happening in the developing world, in Africa, India, and to some extent China, but not so much anymore in China, whereby, I need more gold, so I'm getting more gold, whereby the opposite has happened in Europe and places like that, where it has become almost so expensive and oppressively expensive to have children that only really wealthy people can afford to have children. And the most vulnerable people in society who don't have access to contraceptives, that don't have access to the capacity to properly care for children or plan for unexpected children, they're the ones who are having perhaps too many children and being unable to care for them adequately. And this isn't, I'm not making a value judgment on these people. I'm saying they don't have the tools they need to succeed. And there's something wrong there, in my opinion. We need to solve that issue. There shouldn't be like people who, first of all, probably didn't want children in the first place, shouldn't be sort of quote unquote forced into having them because of circumstance. You know, like not having. I don't know how to explain this. Basically, right? Let me start again. Right? In Europe, we have the opposite problem. Children are prohibitively expensive to have in a lot of places, to the point where the birth rate has dropped dramatically. But not only that, it's a cultural problem too. Not only has it become incredibly expensive, children are seen as like this incredible burden, to the point where I feel like we've gone too far in the other direction, where they're seen as these incredibly expensive things that you just invest into, you know? And I think that's something that needs to be, course corrected as well. I don't want to move that archer there. I want to stick him here and stay in the where he is. Do a hit here. I'm gonna rest. Bring this crossbowman over here. So yeah, that's like my thoughts on those issues. And you're probably not going to agree with me exactly on my views on this, but I feel like what I've said here is fairly like reflective of reality. I don't think I've said anything outrageous. I don't think I've said anything that's outlandish. I don't think I've said anything that's like crazy. I think I've said some fairly reasonable things in this like little diatribe that I went on. Is it even a diatribe? Is that what you would call it? I don't know if that's what you would call it. But yeah, like, I don't know. That's just how I felt on it. I felt like we're focused on the wrong issues here, and we're getting caught up. And the problem is, and here's another problem is, so there's this really big problem, okay, on the internet, in particular certain websites, particularly on like Facebook, Reddit, Twitter, all this sort of stuff, is that you know the saying, the truth, a lie gets halfway around the world before the truth has got its trousers on. It's so fucking true, dude. Okay, because people will like, and here's the thing, the whole like, oh, child mortality is the important part thing. That's true, right? That's absolutely true. But the problem is the one-dimensional nature of the way people view these issues. They think that like someone reads or hears that or whatever, and then they're like, they become the fucking I just punched my microphone. I'm sorry. They become the fucking megaphone of knowledge, okay? And they think that one thing, that's the fucking solution. It's child mortality. That's what it is. That's the problem. That's the thing. This is it. You know, and they just hammer that one point home after time after time after time after time. And yes, absolutely valid, absolutely relevant, okay? But there needs to be depth and breadth to the conversation. Okay, that one thing is really important, and these talking points become almost like little viruses in these discussions, to the point where they're the only part of the discussion that gets discussed, which is incredibly frustrating because there's so much more worth of talking about it in these things. Jesus, I'm really venting here, getting all this out. Is my YouTube viewership becoming my political therapy? I don't know. Perhaps it could happen. But yeah, that's my feelings on the matter, on those sort of fronts, is that I wish, and it's just a human problem, is we really like simple conversation. We really like, if someone's like, oh my god, there's too many people, it's like, well, child mortality is the solution. And it's like, yes, that's correct, but there's more, you know? I would like things to be a little bit more-ish. I feel like the conversation has become too simple to the point where it's worthless. That's the problem. You oversimplify ad nauseum to the point where the actual conversation has nothing interesting going on. I need to be playing the game. I've just been like sitting here talking. I'm gonna slot in the I can't really build any of these things. I have to wait for, yeah, I'll slot that in, and then I will stick in the +1 gold from Envoy because I want more gold because I'm pretty low at the moment. And then I want one more thing, and I might go for, actually, more gold could be pretty cool. Yeah, I think I'll pick up some gold here. But yeah, like the conversation just becomes one-dimensional to the point where it's worthless. When there's no, and like, even two-dimensional conversations have way more depth than some of the shit I see going on Reddit and Facebook and Twitter and all that sort of stuff. It just becomes these huge, like, circle jerks where nothing is really said, but everyone's sure they're right. And I'm, you know, I'm guilty of that too. I'm not immune to this issue. I think we're just gonna go, since like we don't care about the game anymore, we're gonna click on Future Civic because none of these things are really relevant. I mean, okay, I guess not. We won't do that. We will go for mercantilism. We'll go for nationalism. We'll go for nationalism into mobilization. Yeah. So I just feel like. I feel like I've kind of vented everything I could possibly say on that topic. At least in this sort of short format. And you know, if you disagree with me, that's fine. You're allowed to disagree with me. I mean, I'm sure some of the things I said today were probably pretty stupid and wrong. So, you know, I'm not some font of knowledge. Don't mistake me for that. But I think in general, some of the stuff I said was accurate and worth considering. We'll do some shooting here. England shall ascend again. Okay, we just killed England. We're gonna play this out. We got cartography, we got shipbuilding. Oh yeah, we get a bunch of stuff for killing them. We're gonna keep the city. Okay, then we gotta move on to Movember. I think his capital city is over here somewhere, right? Movember. And then we have to take out Germany. We're going to rest our units inside this city. I'm trying to think of anything else I could say about that topic. I don't think there really is anything worthy of talking about. I think we'll just send a trade route here to I'd like to settle a city over here just for the sake of having trade routes. Why don't you just go for Zanzibar? I could use the gold. Purchase and upgrade my units. Choose production. This is in Athens. Yeah, I don't see a reason not to pick up the amphitheater. No, I do. I don't need it. I think instead we'll go for... do you need improved tiles? No, most of your tiles are improved. I could probably use lumber mills here. I'll tell you what, why don't you get a builder? It's about the time in the game that I got builders actually to try and improve things. No, not you. What the hell are you doing? Jesus Christ, 37 turns for a builder? What the fuck? Fucking hell. You need to do something else. Purchase a builder. And get you up to speed, hopefully. Ugh. Ugh. Why don't you make a granary? Grow. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I feel like shit's fucked in a very specific way. I feel like we need to address that. Claim El Cid. That's another medieval era great generalismo. Which is... Oh, you can create a relic. Great, that's Jean d'Arc. So we got two medieval dudes. Medievally minded dudes. We can transfer actually over to... Oh, we can't transfer. We can transfer to I guy. Next turn. Okay, I'm just kind of resting my units. I'm gonna start moving along here to Congo. Congo. Oh, do you know what I should do? I should probably upgrade some of these guys now because they're starting to hit their sell-by date. Got gunpowder soon. I got a couple of Hispaspis. Right? Somewhere. Unit needs orders. Got a great general I can move. Next turn. You look around. Oof. You come back. Alright, we're making some serious cash right now. I'm thinking I'm gonna trade with Lisbon just because I need gold. We go deal with that next turn. Need gold to fuel my army. Ouch, just cracked my fingers. Looks like we just unlocked the musketman. Why do you come back here? Choose research. Probably time to get the bombard. Get the bombard would be pretty good. I'm surprised musketmen come in the Renaissance era. Did they have muskets in the Renaissance? Is that really a thing? And would they have not? I would have thought pikemen would have been way more relevant in the Renaissance era. Like look at this tech tree. It just feels so empty compared to the Civ 5 tech tree even. It just feels so barren. Game needs work, guys. Game needs some serious work. I think we'll go for metal casting to upgrade our catapult. Choose production. We just finished the market. You got me a trader. Repair that. Get the amenities. Okay, we've got these units. I think I will keep the catapult here until it gets upgraded in 6 turns. We'll start moving these units out. I'm going to do some exploring with this guy. Looking for other capital cities. Unit needs orders. Okay, go there. Make your way over here. You're going to want to be upgraded. Actually, I should bring these guys back because they need to be upgraded too. Because they're past their sell-by date. Wait here. Wait here. Next turn. My troops are merely passing by. Recorded history, don't care. Go here, move this guy to the right, so that I can bring this guy in to get upgraded. Douche. Got a pretty strong army following up now. Well done, make it basilica. Make it armory. Make it armory. Grab a granary. Improve yourself. Improve yourself. Skill here. Great. Get those great general points. Run away. You're gonna improve that. Nice. Okay, let's have a look at this city. What are you working? What are you working? You are working some foxes over there. Some foxy foxes. Probably be a good idea to get this farm online here to help the city out to grow a little bit. Got some crossies. Got some of these dudes. Next turn. Get this cotton online. Awesome. Choose production. You just finished a builder. That's probably time for you to do something else. Commercial hub. Do it. Continue. Get into the city and rest. Unit needs orders. Head over here. Swap places. Change places. Declare supplies war on Congo. 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 Hit that city. You're gonna level up soon. Get over here. Get over here. Wango, Django, Bango, Bango, Lango, Dango. Doot, 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 doot. You don't make friends with salad. You don't make friends with salad. You don't make friends with salad. Bring you back a towel. Okay, make sure to move these guys up. Next turn. Tell you what, we just declared war on the Congo. We've got 2 more AIs to kill. I'm going to call it a break here. I could finish this off in probably a few episodes, but let me know what your thoughts are. Please remember, if you want me to continue this series, please let me know. I could just end it here. I'm so close to finishing it that I might just play it out just for the sake of it, because here's Magdeburg. I think his capital's in here somewhere. But yeah, I think Monument of the Gods. Huh, why is that one purple? That's interesting. Please remember, if you want to see more episodes of this, please subscribe to my channel to get notified when new videos come out. If you want to directly support my channel, please leave a like on the video. And if you want to give me a comment on what your thoughts are and what I said during this video, go ahead and do that. You can call me an asshole or a dick for not, saying shit right and all that sort of fucky shit. Anyway, look, thank you very much for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I love you all very much. And I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.